I grew up in a little town of 400 people, fifth generation in Palmer, Nebraska, 30 miles north of Grand Island. And my family's all been in the cattle business their whole lives, and I've always wanted to be in the cattle business. So I always thought I was lucky to go to college, graduate, and really know what you wanted to do in life. I got married 40 years ago, so I've been very fortunate. Joy's a great mother. She's been very involved in the community and the church, arts, all the activities. Joy has been a joy for me as she's taught me other parts of life that I never understood as far as arts, fashion, travel, those kind of things. Well, I was trying to expand in the cattle business, and so when I got the feedlot bought out there, my wife and I moved out there and expanded our family, and I always wanted my kids to grow up in a rural community so they could shoot ducks with their dad, brand calves, and drive tractors.
Chris and I go back 40 years. He and I were both in the cattle feeding business. We were both young, in a very viable cattle feeding business, but tough, low margin business. You know, it took a real entrepreneurial type person in the cattle business. He didn't just stay in the cattle feeding business. Their banks were already started, but he got into ranching, he got into farming, he got into ethanol production. So, everything that came along that he thought might value add to his operation, Chris was right there doing it.
We bought that feedlot in '81, and then we've expanded and bought a couple other lots since. And then we have some ranches in western United States, California and Utah, Nevada, and we farm 2 or 3 different states. And we're also in the banking business.
I am in the cattle feeding business. Feed cattle in Sterling, Colorado. Chris has been a neighbor and friend, and Chris actually helped me get started in the business. 25 years ago, I actually borrowed the money from Chris's bank to buy the place that I have. I realized right off the bat, if Chris Dinsdale liked you, Chris thought you were a good worker, his reputation meant a lot to the other people in the business. So the next thing you know, I had other people coming to my place and wanting to feed cattle there. And he's done that to many people in Logan County, allowing the farm to stay in the community and the water not leave to the front range, and provided, let young people get started on his farms.
As far as Chris being a businessman and a good businessman, he's got a very good smell for markets, very innate. To find someone with the same qualities and the same type of accomplishments that he has. Number one, he's a very, very hard worker. Number two, he gives back to the communities in which he serves.
He has the ability to surround himself with people that are outstanding. They're his kind of people. His humility and integrity is second to none in our community. He's just been so involved with the community. He's so important to the community because of his giving. He's so generous.
If I can actually share with the community where I live, and that make the world maybe a little bit better place. So that's my passion. Small rural communities need people to give back.
As far as any endeavor that I have ever had with him, whether good or bad, he is 100% honorable as far as his part of the deal.
I've known Chris his whole life in ag. Now, I've known about the banking life and all that, but he and I have spent our lives talking about feeding cattle and doing things like this. And Chris has been very successful. His family has been very successful. But Chris has always stayed to his roots, and I think that's great for agriculture. It's great to have a person like Chris rise to this level. He's as worthy as any person I know of this honor.